bones. Let go, let go, let go. Holy breath and holy name.
Good morning, beautiful.
Holy ease this pain and holy name.
Good morning.
And holy name ease this pain. You ease this pain. Loosen, baby, and you don't have to carry the weight of the world.
In your bones, let go, let go, let go. Whoopsie. Okay, share. Sorry. Going to get started in just a moment. Just listening to this song by Joni Mitchell with the Persuasions about shadows and light, which has something to do with our sit this morning. Good morning, everyone. It's so wonderful to see you here at the morning sit. You can leave your camera on, you can turn it off, whatever is best for your meditation. I have a candle here and some incense and a rock and some water. I love to make a little altar for myself with the 4 elements, but you can do this anywhere. And we are streaming to YouTube for those of you who will watch this later. Welcome, 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 welcome. Today, the card I pulled for our sit is the High Priestess. And she is, let me hold her so you can see her. In this deck, she's an owl-headed goddess. And she's just sitting there reading a book in this image. And what she represents is that connection to our own intuition. We walk through the world and we don't always trust our intuition, and the best decisions are made from our intuitive souls, not from up here, but from the trusted self. So meditation, especially this morning, we're focusing on going inward to develop that trust in your own intuition. There's a little poem connected, a little two-line poem connected with this card, which is the one you seek is hard to find. She's underneath the working mind. So that wisdom, that intuition, that emotional intelligence, that knowledge, that connection with dream life. And here we are in between our busy day and our dream life, if you're watching it in morning time. I know that some people are far away in the darkness of early morning. Some people are in warmer climes, and some people, perhaps like me, are in 7-degree weather looking out at ice and snow. So we warm our hearts and we cozy in and we find that connection to our own high priestess. It's the same initials, HP, high priestess, as higher power, if that's how you connect to the divine. And we're just going to bring the divine in today. And the tool that we'll use every day, I bring in a different tool, and you can use any of them or none of them. Today, it's simply counting breaths. And this is how I first learned to meditate about 40 years ago when I was a young Zen student. This is my first method into daily meditation. So I come back to it because it's so clear, so simple, and so pure. And that's just simply counting breaths. So you can do it two ways. You can count 1, inhale, exhale, 2, inhale, exhale. When my mind is very busy, I count 1, inhale, 2, exhale, 3, inhale, 4, exhale, whichever you want. And when we get to the sit, you can choose that. And the design of counting breaths is to see if you can make it to 10 without your mind running away. And usually I get to about 3 and then you start again. And it's just very simple. It's not punitive, even though there are numbers involved. It's not math. It's just simply bringing your attention back to the breath. So that's our tool today. I also just want to focus today on being really aware of the sensations inside our body and the sensations outside our body as we sit. So we'll begin now. And when you hear the bell, you can gently, gently close your eyes. When I say gently close your eyes, that song we were listening to about shadows and light, blindness and sight, that transition into the beautiful private darkness when you let your eyes gently shut. And if this is really hard for you, of course, you can focus on a point or a candle flame. But allowing yourself to be truly private, truly with yourself, is a beautiful thing. So we close the eyes, we face the shadows and the light inside, and just begin to allow the breath to take up your attention. Just watching the breath coming in, filling the torso, releasing the breath, feeling the torso, the belly, the chest get a little bit smaller as the breath leaves the body. Be aware of that small pause between breaths. And let's just connect with that breath. Perhaps breathing in through the nose and sighing breath out through the mouth. Doing that a couple of times, just warming up your awareness and your body to breath. And now let's bring the vessel of the body to meet the breath. First, connecting with our feet wherever they are, feeling the earth in connection to the feet, feeling earth's beautiful, loving, unconditional warmth. Even if the earth is frozen this morning, underneath the layers of ice, there's a fiery core, and feel that coming up through the feet, the calves, the knees, the thighs, to your seat. And when you find your seat, wherever that is, feel the sits bones and feel your connection to earth. And waking up the muscle of the imagination, we picture the tailbone in our mind's eye, that end of the spine, that curling in where our tails used to be. And imagine a cord, a steel cord or a rope cord, a very strong cord attached to that tailbone. This is your grounding cord. And you're going to attach the long, 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 long other end of it to a weight, any kind of weight that you can imagine, and drop it down through your chair or your bed or your floor, down through the layers of your building, down through the different layers of the planet, through the ice, through the crust, all the way down to the fiery core. And you can drop this grounding cord anytime, connecting yourself to the earth so that as energy comes through your feet from the earth, moves through your body, you can then release whatever you don't need down your grounding cord and let it go burn up into the fiery core of the planet. So we're taking in the good and letting out what doesn't need to be there in this circular relationship with the energy of the Mother Earth. And as you connect that low body to the earth, imagine that your tailbone is gently being pulled down, straightening the low back as the belly button rests into the low back. So there's a gentle pull down of that sacral spine. And it also reaches up, and it's reaching up to the mid back, and you're feeling it grow like a mighty tree. And as the mid back rises, the ribs melt back into the mid back. And then the upper back rises up from there, and the heart rests back, leaning against that beautiful tree that's rising and rising. You can do this physically or imagine it, but roll the shoulders up and back, all the way back, dropping them down the spine, leaving room for the cervical spine, the back of the neck to rise up. So the spine goes between this tailbone, which is rooted to the earth, and the base of the skull, right at the top of the 7 vertebrae of your cervical spine, lifting your neck and head towards the heavens. You're suspended between these 2 points, a gentle pull, a long, long spine. And there's also this T formed from the vertical spine and the horizontal shoulder girdle, and everything is just hanging off this wonderful, wonderful frame. And the front body is leaning back onto that tree of the spine, resting there. And now we release that tight muscle in our jaw, letting the facial muscles hang when the jaw is released, releasing the muscles behind the eyes, feeling that strength and that release in this beautiful posture, which makes way for breath. And this beautiful, open, strong, released vessel, we now call in the breath and release it and experiment with counting. Counting 1 in and out. Counting 2 in and out. Feel that small pause between breaths and just see in that counting if you can make it to 10 without your mind running away. And if you can't, and you probably won't, as I don't, just gently call the mind back to the breath. The image we're working with this week is if you're leaning against that tree of the spine in a beautiful meadow, your mind is like a little puppy dog that runs here and runs there into the future, back to the past. You just want to gently call her back, call the mind back to the breath, and you can use that counting to do so. I'm going to be silent now. I'll check in with you at the midpoint. And just know I'm holding time and holding space so you can just release into your beautiful breath. Connecting with that soul, with that intuition, with that divine source inside of you. Wherever your hands are resting, let them go, let them melt, releasing the energy in your fingers. They can be palm up or palm down. Just feel the resting hands. And feel you can make micro adjustments to that long spine and those released muscles. Dropping the tailbone, lifting the scruff of the neck so your spine is long and free. Your muscles are released. The breath is flowing in, releasing out. You can take some deeper breaths now, breathing in through the nose and out for the mouth for a couple of rounds if you'd like. And if counting breaths is working for you, continue that. Otherwise, just watch the breath. We're warming up the breath and body to our intuition, to our self-trust, with this practice of radical self-love, one breath at a time. In the last 3 minutes of our sit, let's call in some deeper breaths. Perhaps if it feels right, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, just waking that lower part of the belly, bringing breath all the way down to your gut. Today, we're going to bring this meditation into the world, trusting our gut, trusting our intuition, always allowing for the light of the outside world and the shadows of the inner world, and the light of the inner world and the shadows in the outer world, shadows and light everywhere. And we're going to trust ourselves today as we make those gut choices, connecting to our divine source, our high priestess, our higher power, our breath. Just take a few more moments in this delicious darkness, lengthening the spine, releasing the muscles, and connecting to your divine source with breath. You can continue counting the breath or release that and just watch the breath flowing in and flowing out. And as you hear the bell, if you could hear that bell, I used a live bell, so if you didn't hear it, the bell rang, and you can gently, gently open your eyes, letting in the light of the day, the light of your candle, the light in your room. Whatever light there is around you, let it in and let it shine on that intuitive soul, on that connection to yourself that you're going to carry with you throughout this day, always being able to close your eyes and connect to breath anytime. That is your connection to the high priestess inside, to that wisdom, that intuition. And I'm going to play this Scottish folk song. I have no idea what the Celtic means, but it's beautiful, and my intuition told me it would be a lovely way to sing us out today. So I'm going to play this. Thank you so much for being here. God willing, I will see you again tomorrow.
Hi, hi, he, oi. Hi, hi, he, he. Hi, hi, he, oi. Charam miman nadarai. Smedek sinjit, shas smedek sinjit. Gihegen rich gewi nach ich schrift jammerst und lui galet chenya gu krui krain oi 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 harom mi man arai smishen yane vichgeoin gambealach mi muneskedam garmedik yanag mavulach benua sar